Let us see the next question. The rates of return on security of company X and market portfolio for 10 periods are given below. Period 1 to period 10 information is given. Information is given for the security X. Then return on the market portfolio is provided to us. The first question is, what is the beta of the security X? And the second question is, what is the characteristic line of the security X? That is a question. I request all of you to go through the question and then we'll discuss how to do it. Now friends, over here, we can see that say as far as the first part of the question is concerned, it is only the beta to be calculated. So for that, I have provided a ready-made answer to you. For security X, here is the total of the return, and based on that, say we have made the computation of the mean return 15%. Market portfolio return total divided by the number of periods, so we got the market return. Then x minus x bar, m minus m bar, x minus x bar into m minus m bar, that is the total. It is x minus x bar into m minus m bar, it is 357 divided by the number of observations, so that will give the covariance. Then it is like variance of the market portfolio is calculated, that is 78.44. Accordingly, we make the computation of the beta of the security. So beta can be calculated as covariance of the security with market divided by variance of the market portfolio. That is the way the beta is formed. Now friends, as far as beta calculation is concerned, that is very simple. That's we have done. Now the second part of the question, that's we are going to understand. What is the characteristic line for security X? So we are focusing on the important point only, that is the characteristic line. So I request all of you to write down answer. In the first part of the question, we have calculated certain values that I am writing over here. That is X bar mean return, which is 15%, M bar, that is market return 12%, and beta, so that is 0.5057. These three are the ready-made answers that say we take, because that will be required for doing second part of the question. Now in second part of the question, we are required to draw characteristic line. How to draw it and how to form the equation, that is what say we are going to understand. Now before I explain you the characteristic line, I just want you to recall one of the line that say we have done, security market line. In security market line, say we have just formed an equation, required rate of return is equal to RF plus beta into RM minus RF. This is a simple equation that say we form. For example, just I am telling you, risk-free rate of return is 10 plus beta into return on the market portfolio is 18, so it is 18 minus 10. So it is 10 plus beta into 8. That is what we have is the required rate of return. Now whatever this, like the equation that say we form is security market line. So basically, say when you draw a diagram of the CAPM, in which on x-axis we take independent factor called beta, and on y-axis we take the return. We form a line like this, and this line is given a name as security market line, and this is the security market line equation. This is what we have done so far. Now exactly similar to this, we are required to form the characteristic line. In that say how we are required to draw the diagram, I explain that to you. With that say you'll understand how to draw the characteristic line. Again over here we will be having a working like this. On x-axis we will have return on the market portfolio, and on y-axis we will have the return of the portfolio. and this line is considered to be the characteristics line, and this value is given a name as alpha. Okay. Now, return of the portfolio or return of the security in this example. Now, what does alpha mean? Listen carefully. Alpha means what will be the return of the security when return on the market portfolio is zero. That is considered to be alpha. Now, we understand that say beta measures, listen carefully, what is the percentage change in the return of the security for every 1% change in the market return. So, percentage change in the return of the security beta measures what is the percentage change in the return of the security or portfolio with change in the market portfolio return. So percentage change in return of security is equal to beta into percentage change in return on the market portfolio. This is what we understand. This is the formula that say we understand that how the return of the security will change. It will change as change in the market return into beta. Now you can understand something like this, that when the market return is zero, you are expecting some return from the security and it is given a name as alpha. For example, it is 10%. So now we understand that since beta of the investment is 0.5057, so for every 1% increase in the return of the security, you are expecting 0.5057% increase in the return of your portfolio. If at all the market return increases by 10%, you are expecting 10 into 0.5057, that is 5.057% increase in the return of your portfolio or return of your investment. At the same time, if at all the market is falling down, then in that case you are expecting the proportionate change in the return of your security. So basically the characteristic line is like this. The expected return from the security is alpha plus beta into Rn. This is the way the expected return of the security is calculated as per characteristic line. Understand the meaning of this characteristic line. Alpha is basically indicating, this is not the alpha that say we have studied previously, it is a different value of the alpha. This time the alpha is indicating the return from the security or return of the portfolio when return on the market portfolio is zero, plus beta into Rm. Why plus beta into Rm? Because whatever is the rate at which the market portfolio return changes into beta is the proportionate change that you are expecting in your investment. This is the way the characteristic line is formed. Write down answer for the second part of the question. In that write down characteristic line. In that write down it means an equation formed to calculate return of a portfolio or security. In that return, expected return is equal to alpha plus beta r. Make this as first point. Second point, alpha means return from investment, comma, when Rm is 0. Full stop. Third, beta into Rm is indicating that what is change in expected return from alpha as Rm is other than 0. Full stop. With paragraph write down, in order to derive characters characteristic line, comma, first of all we have to find alpha of security. Full stop. Friends, alpha will be found as x bar minus beta into Rm. What is x bar? X bar in this example that we already have calculated, it is 15 percentage minus 0.5057 into 12. That is the way the alpha is found. 0.5057 into 12, that is 6.0684. That is deducted from 15, so 8.9316 percentage. This is the way the alpha is found. Now what is logic behind it? I am explaining the logic behind it. This to you. As I explained to you that alpha is indicating return from the security when return on the market portfolio is going down to 0. So we can say something like this: beta is equal to percentage change in return on investment divided by percentage change in Rm. We already have calculated that the return on the market portfolio is 12%. So from 12 it reaches down to 0. It means it reduces by 12%. So in the division we will have negative 12%. Beta is 0.5057. The numerator is x. So x is equal to 0.5057 into negative 12. So 0.5057 into 12, 6.0684. So what happens that, so the return from the security is falling down by 0.0684. That is what we understand. When the return on the market portfolio reduces to zero, yes, the return on the market portfolio reduces to zero means it reduces by 12 percentage. Return from the security will fall down say by 6.0684 percentage. That is what we understand. So 6.0684 percentage is deducted from the existing return of 15, and this is what we understand is the alpha of the security, that is return from the security when return on the market portfolio is zero. Now friends, once alpha is calculated, the final answer of the characteristic line will be like this. In that, expected return is equal to alpha plus beta. This is what we understand is the characteristic line. What is alpha? Alpha is 8.93, 8.9316. So it is 8.9316 plus beta into Rm. And what is beta? Beta is 0.5057 into return on the market portfolio. This is the way the expected return will be calculated. See, understand logically that 8.9316% is the return from the security when RM is 0. Now, whatever is the value of the RM is the change in RM. If at all the return on the market portfolio is, let us say, 6%, then 0 to 6, what is the change? 6. So that 6 into 0.5057 is added to 8.9316 to compute the expected return. Suppose the return on the market portfolio is, let us say, 20%. So 20 minus 0, what is the change? 20. So 20 into 0.5057, so that value is added to 8.9316 to compute the expected return from the security. This is the way, say, we are required to make the computation of the expected return from the security using the characteristic line. So friends, answer is over. At the same time, I have provided to you a diagram only for understanding purpose. Of course, in examination, we don't have to draw the diagram. You can understand something like this. When the return on the market portfolio is 0, at that time, say it is 8.9316. You can see that, say, when the return on the market portfolio is 2%. So kindly use your calculator. 2 into 0.5057, that is 1.0114 plus 8.9316. So it is 9.943. This is what, say, you have a kind of answer over here. Due to some approximation, there is a difference over here. Again, if at all the return on the market portfolio is 6, you can see. So again, you can use a calculator. 0.5057 into 6. So this answer will be added to 8.9316. So 11.9658. So 11.9658. This is 10%. So again, you can do it. 0.5057 into 10. This is the change that you are expecting over 8.9316. So 13.9886 and so on. And of course, at the same time, it may happen that, so, the return on the market portfolio is falling down by 2%, that it is negative. Then 0.5057 into 2, 1.0114 will be subtracted from 8.9316. So 7.9202. This is the way, so we are required to make the computation of the required rate of return for the different return on the market portfolio. And this line is given a name as characteristic line. This line is given a name as characteristic line. So a quick summary of the working. In the first part of the question, we are required to find the beta. So return from the market portfolio, return from the security, and beta calculation is done in the first part of the question. In the second part of the question, because of which we are doing the question in the classroom, is the characteristic line. In that, say you are required to form an equation similar to the kind of equation that say we were forming in case of security market line. So the equation that say we were forming in security market line was RF plus beta into RA minus RF. Now similarly over here, say we are required to form an equation as alpha plus beta RM. That is the equation. Now what is the meaning of this equation? For that, say we have to understand both of them separately. What is alpha? Alpha is the return from the security when return on the market portfolio is 0. That is what we technically call, say it is called intercept. So when return on the market portfolio is 0, at that time the required rate of return from the security. Now we understand that the beta into RM component is indicating whenever there is a change in the market return, this is the proportionate change that you are expecting return from the security. Accordingly, so this characteristic line is drawn. As far as the calculation of the alpha is concerned, for that say very simple formula, x bar minus beta into RM. Again the logic is that say when the return on the market portfolio falls down by 12%, it means it falls down to 0. At that time, the security return will decrease by 6.0684% from 15. It means that the revised return will be 8.9316. And this is the way, so we have the characteristic line to be drawn.